watchers, welcome back to the channel, to today's review where I'm very excited to feature this piece. Now this one, I haven't had this brand before, and this watch has been lent to me courtesy of my workmate James. So shout out to James for lending me this fantastic watch. Very interesting piece from Mr. Jones Watches, if you recognize that particular brand symbol. So without opening the box first, I'm just going to show you this very interesting case, one of the most interesting cases because of the art that it has. So, Vic Lee is the artist that's collaborated. So just take a look at that. The good horologist of balanced thoughts, concentric harmony, indispensable pivots, the mechanician, whatever that word is, of movement, for effectual navigators, midnight explorers, pavement drifters, heroic do-nothings solely for exclusives. What a fantastic piece of art, and that's what he does. That's what this collaboration artist does. He is a maker of marks based in London, Vic Lee, and I'll link up his website down the bottom if you want to check out his works. So let's just get this very interesting case open. So just a simple cardboard case, and there's the little bit of card there just to explain the watch. It's called The Fantastic Exploits, that you can see there, made in London. And just some basic thing they actually do explain, for the uninitiated, what a mechanical movement is. And then on this side you got the explanation of the watch and the inspiration and the thinking behind it. A little bit about the artist Vic Lee that I've mentioned already, and then a little bit about the MO of the company, so, and warranty information. That's just a simple card there. So without further ado, let's just open up the watch from here and show it to you. So guys, take a look at this. This is the Mr. Jones Fantastic Exploits that I have here today, and already you will note how interesting a watch this is. So Mr. Jones is a London-based watch company with a modus operandi of making watches that are different, which tell a story, start a conversation, or simply make you smile. And I think probably there's very little doubt among you watching this already that it does just about all of those things. So this collaboration piece with Vic Lee is retailing at £295 as of right now. I think it might be sold out, but they may make further runs. So the hope is there to get more of this still. And all links to products that I can find down the bottom there. I think James, my colleague, got this for a slight discount, but still equivalent to close to 500 AUD. He told me is roughly what the actual cost is, including the postage to come here. Okay, so right now I just want to talk about the movement in this watch. So the movement here is actually a Swiss-made STP-1-11. So this is one of the foremost companies these days, as I understand it, that are making movements based on the ETA 2824. The patent to the 2824 no longer is in force, so anybody can make a copy of a 2824, and this is one of the foremost ones. So the stats down the left side of the screen here, not going to read it out. There are some slight differences, particularly the jewel count, which is one more, and then the 44-hour reserve, which is because they use a longer, thinner mainspring to make it more efficient, a power reserve. This movement does have a quick set date usually, but obviously in this case it's been modified not to have that. Unknown rated accuracy, overall good reports, and then the detected accuracy that I've done on this watch with my time grapher is actually plus 17 seconds per day. So it's all right. It's within the expected rated accuracy of ETA 2824 base movements. Okay, so that's the movement. Now moving on to the case there. So this case here is 40 millimeters in diameter, and apparently I understand that is Mr. Jones' largest watch. Usually their watches are below 40 millimeters, so it's 316L steel. The thickness here is 10.8 millimeters to the top of the glass as measured by calipers that I've used. The lug width is 18 millimeters, so it's slightly smaller than you might expect, but I think to emphasize the size of this watch and the dial, which is the main feature, I think that's okay actually. It's a fairly good choice. Lug-to-lug distance between my thumbs there is 47 millimeters, and the overall weight is actually very light. It's 66 grams for this steel watch with leather band. That actually comes in under some of the G-Shocks that I have. So, very light, very easy to wear, very easy to forget that it's on your wrist. Okay, moving on to the polishing. Just to show you, this is a 100% polished case. There is not a single brush surface anywhere on this case. Okay, just let you pan it through. Right, 100% polish. You can see the lug design, the case back design. Okay, everything is polished. So the screw-in display case back, and you can see that they've printed the name of the watch there, Fantastic Exploits, and there's a double, I guess, adjustment feature here to be able to align that horizontal. I think that's what those two separate rings are. So screw-in case back, it is actually just a push crown that winds in the 0 position here, right? Unsigned crown, so just a plain crown. The overall water rating is 50 meters, so that's fairly typical of a lot of more dress style design cases that you may have seen. All right, that's the case. Now let's move on to the real star of the show here, and that is, of course, this fantastic dial here. Look at that printed decor. It's a mix of what they call Victorian lettering, old school tattoos, and the world of the circus, and that really takes you on a bit of a journey, doesn't it? That's just a fantastic piece of art there. And if you look at the central design, right, it's kind of a kaleidoscope effect. It's really quite an eye-catching theme, and it's something that really does attract people. When they look at this watch, they can't help staring at that middle special optical effect that they achieve by printing a bit of the pattern on the glass and then having a rotating disc, which is actually the central seconds movement there. That's what that is. Okay, then the hands there, you can see it's kind of skeletonized type of stylized art pieces, again designed by Vic Lee. So red to at least let it stand out from that very mesmerizing dial. There's so many patterns here, and then on top of that, just to show you, is a domed sapphire crystal, lightly domed sapphire crystal. Okay, so that's really the description of the case here, but no words can really fully convey the grandeur of this display here. It's just something that I've really enjoyed having on the wrist and staring at it time to time, sharing with people and talking about the watch and where it came from. Okay, moving on to the band then. This is nothing more than just a basic stitched black leather. Right, it's got a backing there with the company logo and name there. Okay, so just a basic leather band, for this watch. Don't mind that. This is probably a step up from a lot of Chinese mushroom brands, right? But it is just a fairly basic leather band, nothing more than that. And then a polished steel buckle with MJW, as you might expect, the company logo there. All right, so that's the watch. That's the description. How can you really talk about this watch? What have I enjoyed? It is such an awesome dial with this central optical effect, and I think it superlatively achieves the company MO. They said they make watches that are different. The watches tell a story, they start a conversation, and they make you smile. And I think these watches have done all of that in different times for me. It really has achieved that, and I really like it for that. And definitely, of all those things, it is a real conversation starter. Anyone who looks carefully at the wrist when I'm wearing this, I think that a lot of people can't help but remark and ask about what that very fascinating piece is on your wrist when you wear this. This is my personal experience in wearing this watch over the last 10 days or so. And then, what else is notable? Well, I think it's a cool movement, this STP movement. Arguably, it's better than the ETA. To people who have looked at this very carefully, they like it because it's got that extra jewel, it's got that extra power reserve because of what they've played with in the mainspring. And apparently it has definitely better finishing than a base ETA model. So there's some good things going for this STP base movement here. So I'll just put those thoughts in there for you guys. What things I think there are to note about this particular watch. Well, it's not the most practical watch, right? There's no date, there's no lume, there's not even a central second counter. I mean, it hacks, but seriously, this is probably the most useless implementation of hacking ever, right? I mean, look at that. I'll pull it out, and you can see that kaleidoscope stops turning, but you don't need it to hack. In fact, you could easily put in a non-hacking movement, and as long as the quality is up to it, it will serve just as well, because you're not counting seconds at all in this watch. There's no loom, and because of the printing and the way the hands are implemented, it can be quite difficult to read in lower light conditions. I'm not denying that, but that's what this watch really is, and you're not paying for a watch that does all those things. You're paying a watch that does what the company describes, which mainly is be different, start a conversation, and make you smile. That's really what you're going for here. So if you're looking for a practical watch, this is definitely not the piece to pick up. At £295, this does start approaching entry-level Swiss range and a myriad other options outside of Switzerland. Overall, it is a fairly basic watch to make. What does it have here? Well, they've gotten the movement to put it in here, but the case, right, is fairly basic. Not even a signed crown. The dial, right, whilst it's so interesting, it is actually a flat printed dial. There is no applied markers or any such thing on there. In fact, there's not even the brand name on the dial itself. Yes, that disc is a little bit different, but overall, it does seem to be a fairly basic, technically speaking, watch to make. But that's not what you're paying for. You're paying for the collaboration, you're paying for the art, and you're definitely paying for very original design. And I think of all the things you can say, this is definitely not a watch that can be accused of not being original. It is extremely original. Okay, so that's really what I can say about this piece. So let me know what you think about this fascinating watch. I'm very keen to hear your thoughts, and I think you got to say something about this watch. I mean, how can you not make a comment after looking at a piece like this? So guys, let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed that. If you do like my videos, do consider subscribing. I put out new content every week, always aiming to be objective and unbiased about all things horology. Thank you again for sticking with me, and as always, I will catch you guys again next time.